Senator Lindsey Graham later told reporters he had warned Zelenskyy, quote, "Don't take the bait." Do you think Zelenskyy took the bait? Is that how you understand what happened?
I think he was cornered and he was bullied in the Oval Office. And Margaret, that just makes us look weak. I think Donald Trump was trying to look tough. J.D. Vance was trying to look tough. The only winner in that exchange is Putin, who's a criminal, who's killing, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians. So it was a sad day for our country. It was a dumpster fire of diplomacy. It should not have been done. That kind of negotiation should not be done in public in front of cameras. When we had our meeting earlier in the day with Zelenskyy, he has this like habitual gratitude. He was very thankful. And the chairman of the Armed Services Committee kicked the cameras out of the room before we started to talk. Mm-hmm. That's the way this should be handled, not what Donald Trump did.
Well, the Treasury Secretary, who was just with us, said you can't get an economic deal without a peace deal first. So it seems the dynamic is changing in terms of what the Trump administration is putting forward here. What was your understanding of what Volodymyr Zelensky's concerns were?
Well, I mean, his concern is that he doesn't have a security guarantee and he's being asked to give up minerals, that this is a business deal. Margaret, we're about to celebrate our 250th birthday as a country, and I didn't think we were just in it for the money. I mean, we are a country of values and principles. We stand with our allies. He needs security guarantees. Yeah, I understand this concept of an economic deal and a ceasefire, but the economic deal comes after the ceasefire. None of that makes sense. They need to get in a room, including with the Russians. I mean, have the Russians given any indication that they want peace? Our Treasury Secretary questioned whether Zelenskyy wants peace. Of course he does. Mm-hmm. He has his population being murdered, raped, children are kidnapped. He wants out of this situation. But he's having a hard time, obviously, negotiating this in public. By the way, I mean, his English is not the best. So this is hard for him. To corner him in the Oval Office on that kind of stage was wrong, and it makes us look weaker as a nation, and it makes us less safe.
You've been to Ukraine a number of times. Our last guest, Mike Turner, has been to Ukraine a number of times as well. Neither the president nor the vice president have at all. J.D. Vance, the vice president, said to Zelenskyy, those are propaganda tours. Is that what you did? Did you go on propaganda tours?
No, I mean, I went into Patriot batteries and, talked to the troops that every night are defending themselves from incoming ballistic missiles and cruise missiles, trying to keep their population alive. I met with soldiers, some of which are, amputees at this point, and soldiers that just came from the front lines to talk to me in person about what the situation on the ground is. I met with pilots there who were about to get their F-16s, and we talked specifically about, how can you use this airplane in combat? Yeah. I think J.D. Vance, the vice president, with all due respect, it sounds like he's watching videos on the internet. Mm-hmm. And to say to Zelenskyy, you're not being thankful enough? I mean, Zelenskyy thanks the American people all the time. And I got to say, Margaret, if we can end this, and I want this to end as much as anybody, but it has to end in a way that the Russians are going to respect. And what was in the Oval Office yesterday was a demonstration of weakness. And I can tell you, Putin does not respect weakness.
I want to ask you about the U.S. border.